Hi, I'm Ildiko Spinfisher. I'm the founder of Life Retuning, a psychological human energy-based modality which sidesteps the mind. I'm known as the Quantum Wizard. I work with heart-centered entrepreneurs globally to unlock their greatest potential and upgrade their success. I run workshops and courses teaching about energy wisdom. I feel blessed to have the opportunity to share with you on the Be Woke podcast show, and I want to thank you for being here with us today.
Hi everyone, my name is Julie Salant and I am an animal communicator and transformational intuitive coach. My gift is that I am able to see negative energies that are blocking you and remove them with light language and bring in positive energy to bring you back into alignment. I'm also an animal communicator, and I really love talking with Ildiko because she brings the science to what our discussions are, and I'm the intuitive part. Thank you for being here. We're looking forward to having you on all the podcasts. Thanks so much. Hey everyone, this is Julie Salant at Ildiko Spinfisher.
Hi.
We're thrilled to have you back. This is episode 4, and we have been talking about energy. We've been talking about your mind, your ego mind, and fear. And we've been talking about the heart and how the heart rules and has so much of a better viewpoint than the ego mind has. And we're going to pick off and talk about how Ildiko has actually a recommendation for you, an exercise for us to try. Because when I mentioned in the last podcast about how we pretended that you're in an interview and your ego mind says, oh, it's going to be wonderful, but your heart says, this is probably not going to be a good fit for you, and how that's connected to your intuition and how we should listen to our hearts more. Let's delve into that a little bit more, because I think so many people, including myself, struggle with this and are constantly at war with ourselves when it comes to how we want to change our lives and how we want our lives to look versus what we have right now in front of us.
Yeah, so I'm really excited about sharing this because I just wanted to tell a little story of how this all started for me. I developed a tool called Reminding a few years back. And how it started was I was just sitting in complete peace and quiet in my conservatory, and I was actually reading a book. And as I was reading the book, I became aware that not only was now listen to what I'm saying here, just see if you've ever noticed this before. Not only were my eyes reading the words, but my mind was actually saying the words at the same time. And I suddenly became aware that I had double information going on. And I thought, well, this is extraordinary. Well, this is just overloading, my mind. But this is how we read. If you think about it, you'll have to try it yourselves at home, because it just became so clear to me. And then I looked up. I had this book in my hand. I looked up and I was looking around the room. And everything I looked at, when I looked at the window, I had the word window in my mind.
Yes.
I thought, so not only am I getting the visual information, my mind is actually talking to me at the same time.
Yes.
And I thought, this is really extraordinary. I've never noticed it before. But honestly, try it at home. See what your mind's actually doing when you're reading. So I thought, well, this is really overloading my head. And it's like I have no peace then in my mind. It never switches off.
Yes.
Not even when I'm doing meditation or something like that, because my thoughts are going through. And if I've got the constant commentary going on, then that means there is no silence, no peace ever.
I struggle with that all the time.
Right.
All the time.
Right. So did I. And I thought, okay, what if I just literally have a direct conversation with my mind going, hey, pay attention.
Love it.
Which is what I did. So I actually tried something. And believe it or not, after I did it, there was complete silence in my mind.
Wow.
When I went back to reading, I wasn't getting the words anymore. It was just going through my eyes, getting the information once, not twice over. So I ended up developing this tool called reminding, which is a restructuring of the parts of consciousness, which puts the mind into the place that it belongs. Because the problem with the mind is, especially in the Western societies, is that in the 17th century, the mind became very dominant because science was born, and all these things like mathematics and very much mind-based sciences that are based on logic and experimentation and data. All of these things are mind-based things. However, an imbalance happened because the West became mind dominant. It became a mind dominant society. Now, our minds can only cope with so much. We've already discussed that they don't deal with emotions and they don't deal with love. So our minds are overloaded and they cannot cope. Yes. Because we expect them to do everything.
Yes.
But they're not meant to do everything. And this is the realization that I had. So the reminding tool or exercise that I do with my clients, the full thing is to restructure the whole parts of the consciousness. But what I want to share with you today is just one part of this, which I call a power command. And I want you for a moment to just take a moment and notice how much activity you've got going on in your mind. Just for a couple of seconds, just let's have some silence and just tune in and note how much activity is going on in your minds. And then I'm going to give you the next part. So you're probably finding there's a lot of buzzing going on.
There's a lot going on in there.
And I imagine you listeners out there and viewers are finding the same thing, because that is the state that our minds are in.
It's almost like a lot of conversations. It feels to me, and that's when I think about mindfulness as being here, being now. All my focus is on you. But if you stop and you let me wander, I'm hearing I'm hearing all these other things, what I need to do, right? My to-do list, and I hear a dog barking out there, what's going on out there, and I've got so you're hearing, and is that just your mind taking in all this information that's going in around you?
That's right.
Okay.
Exactly. It's trying to make sure it keeps a tab on everything.
Yes, yes.
So here's the power command. What I want you to do is literally, your intention is to speak directly to your mind when you do this. So just say, you can say it out loud or you can say it inside. Mind, I now give you permission to switch off.
Mind, I now give you permission to switch off. Holy crap.
Uh-huh.
Wait a second.
Any thoughts going on?
No.
No.
Are you telling me that it's really just like a computer and it's that simple as Alexis, turn on?
Yeah, that's what I discovered. Yes.
Wait a second. How is that possible? And how is it so easy when I've struggled with this for so long, especially when I'm going to bed at night and my mind races and races and races?
Do you know there's a magic word I used?
What's that? Permission.
The magic word is permission.
Permission. I just wrote a blog post about permission last night, Eldico.
There we go.
Why am I not surprised? This happens we're laughing because this happens all the time between the two of us.
Yeah, yeah.
Talk about permission.
Well, permission is a command word because our minds are like computers. Why do you think we built the internet? Why do you think we built computers? Because
they are a reflection of our mind, right?
And an echo of our minds. That's why. You cannot build or come up with something that you haven't experienced. We've already said that. You can only come up with something that is a mirror or a reconstruction of something that we actually experienced somewhere in our lives. So that's what computers are. They're a reflection of our minds. And so if you use the word permission in computer terms, in computer language, well, you're going to create some change, right?
Yes.
So this is what I realized when I used the word permission with my mind that first time. My mind went into silence. So I'm really interested, viewers and listeners out there, please give us feedback. I want to know how many of you found that your mind just switched off or the level of activity dropped just by saying that simple sentence.
I am dumbfounded because yesterday when I was riding my horse, I gave myself permission, and that was the word, permission to use more of the ring, enjoy myself more. In other words, I took the barriers down that I had created in my mind and said, everything come down. I give myself to permission to whatever that is, have fun. And my horse felt it too, because permission led to confidence. So now my big question is, now that I just tried this and it works for my mind, can we do this with all commands when you use the word permission with your mind?
Yes, so I developed a whole, this reminding is a whole system that I do with my clients. So I prep them, then I do the change work. And as I say, it's a reconstruction of the parts of consciousness. So I bring the heart forward and make a connection, a very powerful connection for them. But yes, you can use permission. And I've discovered that all of the stuff that, you know, I've read so much stuff about the mind and how to, you know, get control over it, or how to do affirmations, all of this stuff. But I found that actually there's only one thing that really works instantly, and this is it.
And is that because your mind, the way that it's structured, it needs to have those key words, just like a computer would? Because when you're giving permission, you're allowing in access or you're stopping access, either positive or negative, right? And your mind is just like, we always say the mind's just like a computer. Everyone knows that. Everyone says that.
That's right. Yes.
Wow.
So what I found, as I say, when I did it, was when I got the, you know, I picked the book up again and I started reading, I had no conversation going on in my mind. It was silent. And so I was actually taking in the information in a purer way.
Wow.
Yeah.
We would love for everybody to try this. It's very simple. It's very easy. It doesn't take long. The results are instantaneous. I felt it immediately. I'm still feeling it.
Yes.
Now, at some point, does your mind go back online, so to say?
Yes, it will do. This is just a demonstration. It's a one mental power command, but it's the primary one that I've developed. Yes, your mind will take over because you have to do the work in order to get it to the point where it embeds fully. But it already shows you how powerful and how much control you actually do have over what your mind does.
So let me just take this a step further. If I was in that interview and I was hearing all of this and I told myself mentally to give myself permission to shut down, then I would fully be able to listen to my heart, because I wouldn't have the chatter in the background that you always have. Correct. And that can be something like, what are my parents going to think about this? Is my husband going to like this? How much travel is involved? All those questions and those things that go through your mind. That's just listen to your heart and what your heart is telling you, because, and we're going to go much deeper into the heart and how it rules everything, how your intuitions connect with it. But for now, we know through my own experience, Ildiko knows through her research and the research that I've seen from the HeartMath Institute, the heart runs everything, not the brain, the heart. And the heart's the one that you want to listen to, because that's what's acting in your best interest. The brain, as she said so many times, to keep you alive, which is the absolute truth, which is why I always joke that there's a dinosaur coming around the corner, because, you know, that's what it thinks. It literally thinks. Back to caveman days. You have that ancestral stuff too, which that'll be another discussion, but that's amazing.
It is, isn't it? It's absolutely incredible.
I think it's so simple yet so profound. Because I can tell you, there have been so many nights where I've laid down and I've wanted to sleep so badly. And I know this is very common. And my mind just races and races and races.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So many people have insomnia. So many people can't get straight on finding solutions in their lives because their mind will not shut up.
Yes.
So this is the way of shutting your mind up. Because I'm consistently and constantly shutting my mind up. It's actually learned now. Most of the time, it's not even engaged because I just go, Get out of it.
Stop it.
Not listening.
Now, is this something that once, just like a muscle, like with anything else, that once you continue to use it, just gets easier and quicker and quicker? So you just think the thought and it's, wow.
Yeah, your mind will retrain, because don't forget about neuroplasticity. The more you switch off your mind and get it off that negative pathway,
Yes.
the more it will respond. And over time, I mean, personally, I can tell you that I don't actually really, this is going to sound so bad, especially on air, but I'm in most of the time, I'm in a state of mindlessness, because I switch my mind off and I make energetic decisions in my life.
Okay, we'll have to have a big conversation about this, because I teach mindfulness, and I'm going to tell you, and you know why, because, and the goal is the same. The goal is really to switch off that chatter and to focus on one thing at a time. There was research back a few years ago when they said, oh, you can multitask, and now they've come back and said, again, one thing at a time is best. So again, this helps you at work or wherever you are. Say you're in nature and you want to go for a nice walk, and it's helping you and wants to bring joy to your life, and you hear this all this chatter. You've got to do this, you should do that, and it's such a pain in the neck. You can enjoy things more, you'll listen more, but we will have to talk about mindfulness, which is basically just being here now, being fully with me instead of, and basically all we're trying to do is not be here, not be over there when I'm talking to you now, giving my full attention and everything I have to you so that I will get all of your cues.
Yeah, I would say it does make sense. The only thing is, if people are doing that, but they're not consistent, it's not going to have the desired effect, because like any habit, we're talking back about rubber bands.
Yes.
And that they're like habits. So it's fine to go to do a workshop or to read a book, but if you don't run that habit in, your mind will not change, because the neuroplasticity will not take place. And if we look at the reality of a Tibetan monk, it takes around 10,000 hours for a Tibetan monk to reach that place of mindlessness, to reach that place of samsara and being able to meditate purely without having the mind jumping in. Now that could be 10 years.
Okay, I'm just gonna throw something out there, which might sound crazy. Based on what you just taught me and based on my own experiences with consciousness, I think I could probably do that real quick. Am I out of my crazy, or is everyone different, or is there perhaps maybe they're just learning a different way and we're learning another way that's quicker?
Well, all I can tell you is the experience that I've had with myself, with clients, with you now.
With me, yeah.
Is that you can switch your mind into silence within a couple of seconds. So I don't, I always say the same thing. I don't know what I don't know, and I can't have an opinion about what I don't know.
Yes.
So I don't know what I don't know, but I do know that I've been told that that's more or less how they see it, that, it's 10,000 hours to actually get to that place of being able to meditate properly and be able to switch the mind completely off so that they can be totally in that space. That's what I've been told, or I certainly know that information from a reliable source. Yes.
Wow. And everyone's different, right? Everyone is at different states of consciousness. Some people are just awakening. Some people are far down the road. So, wherever you are is wherever you are. We're just trying to give you tips and ideas that have worked for us. These have been proven to work for Ildiko. I can tell you for myself that she's worked on me and she's done some amazing things. And through my own practice that I've worked with other people, I have been able to break negative loop patterns, which I'd like to talk about in our next podcast, because I think you'll be interested in how that works with the light language.
Definitely.
I think you'll definitely like that. So we're going to stop today here because we have so many more great things we can talk about. But I think next time we're going to focus on mindfulness and mindlessness, which are both very important to understand. And also your intuitiveness around the heart. And we'll keep going on our discussions. So thank you everyone for being here. And we look forward to talking with you soon. Thank you.
Certainly do. Thank you. Take care. We would like to take your hand and step into this year in a different, empowered way that no one is discussing. We invite you to come with us on this journey to show you a different way of being, to get to the deep truth of things, instead of having another year of ups and downs with the same patterns. In essence, we are going to help set you up for success.
We have a SMART 2-part experience just for the listeners. And the SMART experience is an acronym for the S is for simplicity, the M is for motivation, the A is for action, the R is for reconnection, and the T is for transformation. And we are offering an expansive experience first with Ildiko, who will remove blockages with energy, and then Julie, who will introduce the light language to infuse you with light, clarity, and positive purpose. So this is a large transformation in not only how you'll feel energetically, but also how you will experience and view the world and opportunities that are open to you. And this will be a session with each of us individually. If you'd like more information, please click the link, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the podcast.